Okay, I'm back on this Indian piece, and I say back on because even though these videos, I'll post them, you know, like I'm working on it every day, I'm not. It's been a while since I've worked on this. Got my reference photos over here to look at and get his face kind of drawn in. And got his goatee, it's really not going to be much. I mean, as far as extra wood down there, it's pretty close cut. Get his eyes. Then up here, want to put his headdress. Got that all set in pretty good. Now, from the headdress, he's got a little beadwork done. So that'll be the beadwork part. Then he's got little red shafted feathers. Looks like they're together 2 at a time. And I'm just kind of guessing these, not worried about them being exact. Then you kind of lose them when it gets to that point. Then he's got this fluffy, I don't even know what that is, fluffy fur or cotton or something. And then the feathers will go out from there. And I also noticed that I've got this shaped, and in reality the feathers would be all about the same length, but as they go, their shape would be more like that. I have a tendency to cut that in, but in reality it would be more like that. So I can take that off, and I can take that off of both sides. Here's about where that is over there. And it ends up about right there. So I'll take that off. This part will be gone. The rest of this, what I'm doing, I hadn't worked on it in a while, so kind of got to get the feeling of it back. I hate to sound that artistic, but just kind of remember where I'm at. I do kind of like the shape of it. I can got the gun pretty much ready. Got some of the back of it knocked off, but I know there's more to come off, and that's going to shape that. So that's what I'm going to do right now. We'll just get at it. And before I start on stuff tomorrow, I'm going to tighten up this vise where it won't be giving so much. Like that. And I've made several of these cigar store Indian type carvings before, and I've always curved the feathers back in, and that is not a good look. I've figured out now. We're at I'm in East Texas, and it's springtime now, and the weather today has been earlier today out here in the shop. I had the propane heater going, and it'll be t-shirts and short weather here in about another hour. So I've got on a hoodie right now, and like I said, it'll be shorts and t-shirt in just a bit. I'm gonna have to match that up. That's pretty good. That's looking, shaping up. And I'll go in with the gouge here instead of, I really don't want to break that off the barrel of that. Here's the base and the leg part. You can see this leg is rounded and this leg is still not. So I will round it off now. This is a super soft piece of basswood, which makes it easy to carve, but man, your tools got to be sharp. Sharper than mine are right now. Okay, just put in this line here to kind of separate the legs. And I just did that to show you where it is. But I'll just go in there with, again, this big gouge. And I don't want to cut through the legs. I just want to give an indication of where they're at. If you cut through the legs at this point, do a bunch of more hammering up on that, it might break. And just doing that, I'll go over here and where I need to go at the back side to kind of match that. I don't know if I'm close enough to pick this up real good, but like right there, I'm making that cut. I don't know if you can see it's rough. You can actually feel those little fibers in there. I'm gonna do some honing and sharpening on my gouge. Be right back. Okay, and all I did was just do some stropping or honing on the blades. I didn't use any, I didn't grind anything off. And look at the difference that makes. Smooth, it's even a little shiny. The cuts are. Made a ton of difference. And one thing I can do at this point that won't really hurt is take the back of these legs off, take them down to where I guess you'd say the ankle is going to be. And I'm cutting in behind this. If I want this fringe to come down and fall out this way, I want to leave that. And again, that'll go in a lot more. I know the legs are going to go in, but I want to leave those for now. Get back up here. There's that's the bottom. This right here is the bottom of his shirt. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of work on the face, getting it kind of shaped up. Again, not working it down to nothing, but getting it pushed back where I know it needs to be pushed back. I'm gonna make his around his chin and no carve area right now, because he's gonna have his famous goatee mustache, goatee beard there, and not doing anything wild, just getting it ready, kind of. I will go in here and cut the brow line. So after a bit of sharpening, I'll cut the brow line in. It's looking and again, just want to stay safe in that. I don't want to get too far from what I know it's going to need to be. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want to cut in too much here. I want it low. I can always move it up, but if I start up too high, I can't put that back. So I'll cut in there, get that done. And again, just stuff here that I know that's going to have to come out. Not going to work it down to any details though. Oh, found some white paint left over from somewhere. That's interesting. Good thing that's happening now. Okay, I'm going to cut back this part, and this is going to be the part from the bead work and the stems of the feathers. And I'm going to go ahead and go around this again, because I've got beadwork, and then the stems of the feathers. I'm pretty sure stems isn't the right word. And then you got that fluffy stuff. And that's kind of what I'm putting in now, is the fluffy stuff. From there, all that'll need to be flattened back out. I just did a carving on a piece of cottonwood bark, and most of that stuff's reclaimed from the woods, and it's fell off the tree and it's dirty, and all of my tools now are scratched up. So knowing that, be doing some more honing, get all of them back into shape. What I'm doing now is looking around this thing, just want to shape it up a little bit. It's pretty close to the way I want it to be. I can see how this is kind of hard to see, but right there, how that needs to be rounded. So I'm just going to kind of do that. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to round the whole arm. Just shape it up a little bit. I like the general layout right now. So I just want to work on that, get that narrowed down a little bit. Working on this part. Need to figure out how wide his plot is. About that wide. So I already have some marks. About there is going to be the solid part of his back, not his arms and stuff. So I'm going to get that down. And while I've got this tool, I'm going to carve around this line that I've got for the shirt. Now the shirt will go down pretty low, front and back, but it won't be a straight shirt. It'll be, you can see the marking there, because it'll be made out of more than likely a deer skin. And I'll have to look at my reference picture over there to see if he's wearing a loincloth. And I know as I cut that in that you know, the legs need to go in up under that, so I can kind of taper those in, and that's not taking off a lot, but just kind of do that. This side's pretty thick. So I've got that done. So that didn't take long. I'll look down try to get this kind of going in a straight line. I'll cut that off. And what I'm doing is just getting the front part of this to where it'll match this part will match this part in pretty much a straight line up there. Because we don't need a warped barrel. It would be straight. It's a piece of metal. And again, just getting it close. And again, I use as big of a tool as I can to get in a place. This part here, like this is his face right there. This is his ermine right there. Get that little triangle out. This is an 1111. Now, do think in the picture his rifle is a lot, goes down quite a bit from the face, which is good. That'll give me a little extra room to work with. Get this cut back to where his body would be. And I can end that ermine right about there. Be interesting to know if he used a real ermine to, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, to make his. Right here, I want to get this to next to his body where his fringe will lay down up against his body in the suit. Now there's going to be a little bit of an indentation on the back of the arm to where the fringe is, and then the fringe will kind of rest up against his body there. Cutting, trimming off stuff here to make it look rounder. I'm gonna have to go and check. I need to get his hands placed, make sure they're in the right place. Then I can work on the rest of it. Really just kind of taking out some bigger stuff right now.